Hey guys, welcome to today's video, which is all about funk guitar playing and how you can use your fretting hand to mute the strings so that when you're strumming with your other hand, you can sound out certain notes and mute others for a percussive, funky sound. Here is a simple example of a funk riff that uses just two notes, G and A, on the D string. So that's it, frets 5 and 7. All of the other notes are muted with my fretting hand. So here is the riff. 3, 4. So I'm muting with my fretting hand and strumming several strings at once to turn those muted notes into a percussive, funky, rhythmic tool. And if I just play the fretted notes on their own without any of the funky muted string stuff, it would sound like this. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, it does sound good, but if you want to be able to add in those funky muted strings, then here's how you do it. We're working in this area of the neck, which is fret 5 and fret 7 on the D string. So to get your hand in the correct position for this, you're gonna have to grip the neck like so, and I'll try and show you on this close-up camera here. Yeah, that's how my hand is positioned. So I've got my thumb resting on fret 5 of the low E string. So you can hear there when I pluck the string that there's no open string ringing out. It's muting it. And my palm is not flush against the neck. It's at a bit of an angle. And my fingers are diagonal against the strings. And it's important to have my first finger above fret 5 on the D string so that I can fret that when I want to. And as well as that, I've got my pinky above fret 7 on the D string as well, so that I can also fret the note when I want to. So you've got your palm at a slight angle against the neck. It's not flush against the neck. It's just relaxed like that. Thumb against fret 5 on the low E string. Fingers are diagonal to the neck with the first finger above fret 5 and the pinky above fret 7. So now that you've got your fretting hand in the right position, it should sound like this when you strum multiple strings at once. So you can hear that there aren't any fretted notes and there aren't any open strings ringing out, which is what we want. So it's important to have your fingers just sort of lightly resting against the strings there. Hopefully you can see that in the close-up. So I'm not fretting anything just now, I've just got them lightly resting on top of the strings. But as I mentioned before, first finger is on top of fret 5 on the D and my pinky is ready to fret 7. Now let's take a look at the strumming pattern for the riff. So really all that is just constant 16th notes. I'm starting with a downstroke and going up, down, up, down, up, down, and just repeating that motion. However, there are some accents on a few of those 16th notes. So take a listen to this. I'm going to play it slowed down without any accents. And when I add in those accents, it sounds like this. So all I'm doing there is strumming just a little bit harder to make those accents pop. And hopefully you could hear that it immediately sounded funkier when I did that. All we have to do now is add in the fretted notes. So we've got fret 5 on the D string and fret 7 as well. Now, I want you to look at how little movement there is in my fretting hand when I actually fret those notes. Just wait for that to focus. There we go. So here's fret 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. Because my hand is already in position to simultaneously mute the strings and fret the notes that I want to play, all I have to do is push my fingers down to fret the notes. That's it. So very little movement there. So just as a reminder, when you add in those fretted notes, it sounds like this. If you're new to this kind of playing style, I would recommend practicing that riff until you get comfortable with it, until you get comfortable with getting your hand in that position and muting all of the strings. And as well as that, getting comfortable with strumming multiple strings at once. So when you're comfortable with all of those things, then you can start to experiment a bit more and add in additional notes to that. Here's an example of a more advanced riff in this playing style. Here's that same riff again, this time slowed down with the tab. So that about does it for today's lesson on funk guitar playing, but before I go, I do have one more thing I'd like to add, and that is that you don't always have to strum every single 16th note mute. Sometimes it can sound cool to leave out some and let the notes breathe a bit, and just occasionally add in a few of those muted notes. So for example, here's that same riff. I'm going to play it once again, and I'm going to add in as many muted 16th notes as I can. And here's what that riff sounds like if I just occasionally throw in some of those muted 16th notes and allow the fretted notes to breathe a bit more. Okay, so that does it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more funk guitar lessons on this channel in the future, just let me know by dropping a comment below and I'll see what I can do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and click subscribe for more.